Hello and welcome to GoDigiscoping with me, Simon Brumby. The premise is quite simple behind the channel. This will be a series of interviews initially, and the idea is that you will feel hopefully some kind of inspirational connection and want to get out and go digiscoping. Please feel free to like, comment and share the channel. So without much further ado, this was the first video, the inaugural video if you like, of GoDigiscoping. This is a conversation with Mr. Robert Wilson, filmed in January 2015 in Florida. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, my name is Robert Wilson and I'm a digiscoper. I'm a retired photographer from Lockheed Martin for 30 years. I've been an addicted photographer for 40 years. Never knew about digiscoping until 2 years ago and really stumbled onto it and became instantly fascinated by it because it was unlike anything else I'd ever done in photography. So it was a new challenge. My defining digiscoping moment was 15 minutes after I had it on my camera. My wife spotted a loggerhead shrike further than any bird I'd ever photographed in my life, and I photographed it with the scope, you know, pretty much stumbling and bumbling around, and took the image home, and I had to have that scope. The detail that I noticed was unbelievable and like nothing else I'd ever seen in bird photography or any of my past nature photography. Yeah, I spent $4,000 to buy one on an impulse buy. Well, in my 40 years of photography, I've pretty much photographed in all sorts of formats, all sorts of, for various purposes, commercial purposes, personal purposes, vacations, family. So it was the new challenge of something that I'd never seen before, and fascinated by the focal length and the manual focus. It was a brand new challenge to me. I love Yellowstone, so mammals are my first love anyway. I've spent a lot of time out there. I love being around the large mammals and being able to get so close to them, but I don't get out there that often. So mammals are my first. And then I live here in Florida, as you well know, Simon, now that we're very close to the birds here, so you're able to get very close to these birds, and it's the detail of the feathers and the behavior. So any bird here, any bird that I can get close to and observe for any amount of time. I really can't determine my style. I've always, in my commercial work, I've always gone more for the abstract and more contrast. I kind of prefer that. I think probably I do. I think we all have our own styles, but I like to vary my style. I like to experiment also. So I'm pretty experimental, but I'm sure I have my own style. People have told me that they can spot my photos when they see them posted. So I'm just really happy to have my digiscope and spend the time with my wife out in the woods shooting animals. To be honest with you, I have no real aspirations right now. I'll find it when it comes. Well, I've always been an early adapter to technology. I got into digital at the very beginning. I'm always very interested in technology. I'm retired now, so I just I try to keep up with the technology. I'm not so visualize the future so much anymore as I did when I was younger. My biggest tip would be to stick with a micro 4/3 camera, the mirrorless camera with the electronic viewfinder. I started with a DSLR, mirror slap, no electronic viewfinder was a real problem. Stick with the mirrorless. I think patience, is one critical thing in digiscoping, because I always find it interesting that I'm the last person on any bird or mammal that's out there, because people just come up to it, they spend hundreds of dollars trying to find these animals, and then they come upon it and they take 3 pictures and then they leave, so I tend to stay hours and hours. I shoot hundreds of frames, and within that you're going to get a very good selection of what you want, because it takes time for the behavior to develop and the light to change and that sort of thing. So
there you go. I hope that was informative and that you enjoyed it. Thank you, Robert, for your time, and thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget, please like and subscribe to the channel. We can hopefully build up a bit of a foundation for this thing, and spread the word and get everybody to go out and go digiscoping. So, yep, thanks until next time. Doei.